Hello and welcome to Essential Image. Today we're talking about social media, specifically LinkedIn social media, as it refers to your professionalism and the things that you may or may not be doing online to become more relevant and professional on this particular website. Now, before I do that, I'd like to dispel a common misapprehension about social media. A lot of people seem to think that, well, gosh, LinkedIn is a professional one and Facebook is the not so professional one where I can pretty much say or do anything I want. And let me assure you that that's not the case. Your aim should be to be professional on both of those sites at all times, because you can't be one person on Facebook and then be somebody else on LinkedIn. It doesn't make any sense. Your image has to have a certain congruence to it so that no matter who you meet, they know that you're the same person 24/7. Now, that being said, nobody's a saint. People do things online. I've been guilty of doing some things on Facebook that I've tried not to do, like political posts, which in fact brings me to the 7 tips I'd like to give you today for LinkedIn. And the number 1 tip is no politics on LinkedIn. They do not belong on this professional site for many reasons. One of those reasons is the fact that every time you express a political opinion, you alienate about half of your audience. Now, the people who agree with you will look at it and like you more and then just move right on. The people who disagree with you are the ones who are likely to engage you in an argument that at the end of the day is completely futile. It serves no purpose. It doesn't elevate your image. It doesn't change minds. It's just a waste of time. So don't do that. Companies tend to do this. They engage in some sort of a political stance that is detrimental to their mission. The mission of any company should be to be apolitical, areligious, and to provide the most services to the most people possible. A good example is Target. They have been the topic of some controversy lately because of their stance on the whole transgender restroom thing. Now, I don't really care where you stand on it, what side of the fence you're on. I don't care because it's irrelevant. The fact is, however, that the second Target made this announcement about 2 weeks ago until this week when they announced their earnings, their stock has dropped about 20%. To me, that is tantamount to corporate malpractice because as an investor, I want the company to make money for me. And one of the ways they do that is by increasing the value of their stock. So a 20% drop in stock value is not a good thing. It's just a stupid practice. So don't do that. Don't post political things on LinkedIn. They don't belong there. The second tip is no religion on LinkedIn. I see people do this more and more where they say, well, gosh, you should do business with me because I believe, or whatever approach they take. This is actually counteractive. When I see something like that, I actually get a little suspicious and wonder why they're trying to do that. So don't post religious stuff. Don't espouse your religious beliefs on LinkedIn. They do not belong there, much like politics don't belong there. Just remember what your mother told you at the dinner table. No politics or religion at the table, right? Well, LinkedIn is your table, your dinner table for professional purposes. So leave those 2 things out of it. The third thing I want to bring up today is, gentlemen, LinkedIn is not a dating site. I'm going to let that sink in for just a minute. LinkedIn is not a dating site. I've spoken with a lot of people, especially women, who've told me that they've been asked out, they have been proposed to, and some of them have been stalked to some extent on LinkedIn. Don't do that. That's like if you went to a professional networking event with the hopes of picking up a date. It's not only cheesy, it is creepy. Stop doing that. It doesn't belong on LinkedIn. In fact, in the description of this video, I've included a link to the user agreement for LinkedIn. And Section 8 specifically talks about unwanted communication. And one of those unwanted communications is when you're pestering somebody for a date or something to that effect. Don't do that. It is not professional. So those are the first 3 tips for don'ts, the big don'ts for LinkedIn. The next 4 are really more related to the things that you should be doing on professional sites like LinkedIn. So tip number 4, you should be promoting you and the work that you're doing on behalf of your company. There is no better marketing than a great ambassador for a company, and that's you. And when you're doing great work, a great event, or something related to your job, and you're promoting it online, gosh, what a great piece of marketing that a company cannot put a dollar amount on. Do that. Do that all the time. Next, you should promote the things that other people are doing. The connections you have, many of them are promoting things that they're doing, great events, great causes. promote those things, because one of the goals of professional networking is to be each other's ambassadors or each other's sponsors, so that when somebody says, hey, do you know somebody in this occupation or somebody who knows how to do this, people who know you, like you, and trust you will refer you. They will say, yeah, I have the best person for you. And better yet, they will even promote the things that you're doing in your professional life. So definitely share the content that others are putting out there. Next, you should be commenting on inspirational content. So for example, if you subscribe to a Tony Robbins or anybody else like that who's an inspirational leader, they put content out every day, sometimes a couple of times a day. Share that information with your network, because it is inspirational, it is uplifting. What a great way to start your day, with something that lifts you up and lifts others up. Lastly, if you would like to contribute in terms of an opinion on professional media or professional social media, you should do so by way of a blog. Yeah, you can post a blog on LinkedIn, do 600 words, nothing huge, but post an opinion on something that's related to your work. People always like to read things that will make them more efficient, more productive, or a better person. And what a better way to do that and to become more relevant on social media than to do that via a blog on LinkedIn. So there you have it, 7 tips to become more professional, more relevant on LinkedIn. Just remember the biggie: no politics on LinkedIn. We'll see you next time.